Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Foraging Family Homestead. My name is Arielle. We are a multi-generational family living in the beautiful mountains of Alabama on our amazing 12-acre homestead. We are officially in the thick of June, and many people think that what you have growing is what you got growing and that's it. But did you know that you can actually plant some things in the ground right now? In today's video, I'm going to show you what we're planting in the ground right now in mid-June, and also some of the wonderful things we're harvesting in our June garden. Also stick around because I'm going to share some amazing master gardener tips that are going to take your struggling garden to optimal production. It's been raining so much and we actually have a beautiful day today, so let's get to it. Come on with me to the garden and I'll show you what's growing on. Okay, so we recently planted some sweet potato. A friend gave us all these slips of Japanese sweet potato, and we are so thankful to him because that was so generous of him to give us all of this. So we actually planted this. I planted this with our boys yesterday, right before the rain, which was perfect. Got us so good. June and early summer is the absolute prime time to get Japanese sweet potato slips in the ground in Alabama because they really love baking in the sun. Sweet potatoes are incredibly low maintenance, but they do need loose, well-draining soil to really grow those massive tubers. So my husband did a lot of tilling, and this is now very nice and loose. And if you have heavy clay or sandy, loamy soil, you want to plant them in mounds like we did here. And once they really take off, those vines will kind of act like a living mulch and start shading the soil and keeping all that moisture in. And in the mound right next to it, we planted our okra and our black beans and kidney beans. If you haven't planted your okra yet, get to it right now. Because okra won't even wake up until the temperature of the soil is at least 70 degrees, and it absolutely loves the heat of summer. So June is really its time to shine. And with the okra, they have a coat that is pretty hard, a shell. So what we do is we soak it overnight. We soak the seeds overnight, and then after about 8 to 12 hours of soaking in the water, that shell starts to peel off, and it's actually going to take your germination process from 2 weeks to just a few days. And then of course we're planting beans. June is the optimal time to plant your beans, your bush beans, and your pole beans. So right now we're focusing primarily on dry storage beans, specifically the black beans and the kidney beans. And right before it rained yesterday, my sons and I went out and we planted them right next to our sweet potato. So we have black beans and kidney beans, but you can also plant pinto beans, navy beans, and classic green snap beans right now. And beans are legumes, meaning that they fix nitrogen into the soil. But here's the secret. If you want a massive yield, go ahead and direct sow your beans right inside the soil rather than transplanting them, because they really hate their roots being disturbed. And in this warm June soil, they'll sprout in just a matter of 3 to 4 days. So I'm going to take you to this area. Okay, so here we're next to our hoop house, and I really love this hoop house so much. It has weathered so many storms. I'm going to actually put the link to it in our description box because it is absolutely amazing. This is where our red beans are. So my dad actually planted these a few weeks ago, and they're already so tall, and they're going to start shooting out. Some are shooting out their flowers already, which means that's where the bean pods are going to come. So you can actually do your second wave of beans, either pinto, navy, black beans, in the soil right now. And after being soaked, they should shoot up within just a few days. Here we have our eggplant and more tomato. And we have our amazing, delicious summer squash. Our summer squash is doing so well. Look at that big boy. They are looking so good. Corn is also heat loving, and we also do succession planting here. So you can see where my father planted those in the beginning of June, here in the second week, and then that's third week corn. The varieties that we find that do well here in our Alabama soil are the peaches and cream and ambrosia. Those are the main varieties we grow, but I've also heard that the incredible variety does well here in our Alabama soil as well. So that's what we have growing on, and you can actually start planting your corn right now, and it should be knee high by the 4th of July. So here we're doing the Three Sisters method, and we have some squash growing in the middle here. And once the corn gets to at least this height, that's when you can start planting your squash or your beans, and they'll actually trellis up on the corn. And that's the Three Sisters method that really allows for the beans and the legumes to fix nitrogen into the soil that helps to feed the corn and the squash. All right, let's go into this greenhouse. I'm gonna be very careful because I saw a black rat snake the other day just chilling in here, and I'm super not trying to see him again. But anyway, here we have our Kentucky, let me make sure I got the name right. Yes, this is our Kentucky Wonder pole beans. Yes, these shot up so well. They love the heat. So if you do want some green beans and pole beans, this is the time to do it. They love the heat. And then if you start seeing them look wilted and dormant, you want to hit them with some organic fertilizer that is high in phosphorus and potassium. We have some more bell peppers here, and those bell peppers are starting to flower. If you get some plants, you should be able to still get some plants from Lowe's and Home Depot, or I recommend local nurseries. We only shop local. So we got these from a local nursery, and they still had plants that were about 6 inches tall. And now this plant already has its flowers, so you can still start planting your peppers. For your peppers, if you're starting in June, look for those quick maturing ones. Look for the quick maturing varieties like jalapenos, shishitos, or banana peppers, rather than those massive bell peppers, because those take a lot longer to mature. And peppers love the heat. They love the heat. So once you plant them, they're gonna take off like a rocket. So this is our first wave of tomatoes here. They are doing so well. And we trellis them by stringing them up. So this is we have 2 lines going. Now they're getting tall enough where we need our third. And we prune the suckers off of these tomatoes. And that allowed us to actually get a whole nother yield of tomatoes. And I'm going to show you. We were able to get these. So now this is our third wave of tomato plants. We have Cherry Roma and Cherokee Purple. And we have about 20 plants, all taken from suckers of these plants. So these are the little babies. And now this will be our third wave of tomatoes, so we will have them well into fall. So just as these will be ending, these are going to be growing. That's why I love succession planting. One, you're not just bombarded all at once with a whole bunch of produce, and then you can space it out, and then you can also have it throughout the summer. So while we are planting for future harvests, we're actually harvesting a lot of our squash and our zucchini. They are exploding right now. As you can see here, we have some delicious summer squash and they are looking amazing. The bees are getting to work here. And we have this delicious squash here. We have melons that are coming up. We have lots of zucchini. And so while we're doing succession planting so that we can harvest all summer long up until fall, we're constantly harvesting a lot of our squash and zucchinis and soon watermelon.
That's a big cucumber.
It's not a cucumber, it's a zucchini.
That's a big
Gotta be very careful. There we go. Good job. Wow. Show it to me. Look at that. Awesome. Let's put it in our basket. And our green beans. So I don't know if you can see this, but we have lots of green beans coming up. Look at that. And the amazing thing about green beans is that the more you harvest, the more it produces. Harvesting your green beans frequently actually alerts the plant that it hasn't finished its fruiting cycle, so it shoots out even more. So keep on picking and the blessings are gonna keep on going. Ooh, look at that. Wow, there's so many. I love harvesting them on dry days because if you get them on wet days or after a rain, they get all that kickback of dirt on them and it's so hard to clean them when you try to prepare them or can them. These are super good. Oh, do you hear that crunch? Oh, I gotta get the kids out here. Yeah, do you hear that? That means it's hot outside. So if you're planting in June like us, go in the early morning or in the early evening. Please don't be outside during the hottest time of the day. That don't make no sense. So definitely get out in the early morning before the sun gets too hot or in the evening time. Also, just another tip, plant what you will actually eat. Gardening is a lot of work and you don't want to waste your time, energy, or money into planting something that your family doesn't enjoy. We don't really care for okra, but our neighbors love okra. And okra is actually great as a cover crop for our in-ground garden. So we are gonna grow a lot and then give it to our neighbors or sell it on our farm stand. So we're making it work, but definitely manage your energy and plant what you really like and enjoy. Also, if you feel like you're a little behind in your gardening right now, don't worry. Start planting your cucumbers, peppers, and herbs right now because specific varieties actually will do very well in the heat of summer. You can actually start them right now from seed in small starters, and they're gonna absolutely thrive in the coming months. So like I said before, definitely start planting your peppers that will grow quickly, like banana peppers. We just harvested a whole bunch of these banana peppers and they're doing really well. You can see that there's a lot coming soon. We have a lot of flowers happening. And shishito peppers, jalapeno, cayenne, those grow rather quickly. You can absolutely plant these right now in June and they will completely transform your summer kitchen cooking, I tell you that. I absolutely love basil and you want to make sure that you don't let it flower. And the trick with basil is the more you harvest, the more it produces. You don't want to just pick the leaves though. You're going to try to get it right here and pull that so that it can start branching out again. So just like I have this cluster here, I'm going to go down right there and I'm going to go ahead and pull that. And I'm actually going to throw this in some pasta I'm going to make for the children later. Here is my sage. It has gone to flower, but I love the bees that it's attracting, so I'm going to actually let it go because I have several other sage plants around. We also have rosemary here. Rosemary is a Mediterranean plant. So in humid June heat, it loves it, but it actually hates the wet. So definitely I have this in well-draining soil here in my raised bed to make sure that the roots don't get waterlogged. I also have Italian parsley here. We have oregano. You can grab these from any local nursery and just throw them in a pot or in your raised bed. We have cilantro. Now I have to make sure to harvest a lot of the cilantro because, as you can see, it's going to flower, it's going to seed, and this thing will taste like soap if you let it go to seed, and it's pretty disgusting. So you want to make sure that you're harvesting cilantro because it bolts up very quickly in the June summer heat. We also have dill. I put that in some potato salad yesterday and it was amazing. Okay, here I'm next to my trellising cucumbers. We're trellising them on this cattle panel that we actually got for free from a really great neighbor of ours. So with cucumbers, look for varieties like Market More, which is really great for slicing, or Boston pickling, which we have growing here, which is great for canning and making your own pickles. So these cucumbers love the heat. And if you start them now, means that you'll bypass a lot of that early spring cucumber beetle pressure, because they do attract these different beetles. As you can see, they're kind of getting to our leaves here. But if you plant yours now, you're gonna bypass all of that, and they're gonna really shoot up. As long as you're making sure that you're feeding the soil with the potassium and phosphorus it needs, then you should be able to get some. We actually planted these just 2 weeks ago, and they are just booming right now. And you can tell that we planted these over about a month ago, and we started all of these from seed. So you can actually start your Market More or Boston pickling cucumbers right now and get them out in the garden in June. Trellising your June cucumbers actually improves the airflow and keeps the leaves dry, and will prevent it from getting that powdery mildew that usually happens on cucumber and squash leaves. So homestead gardening isn't just like a one-time spring project. It's a continuous, beautiful rhythm. Every seed that we put in the ground today ensures us a future harvest for the upcoming months. So go ahead and put some plants in the ground right now in June. Don't let the summer heat intimidate you. You can get those sweet potatoes in, drop a few beans in the ground, and definitely give your heavy hitters like your tomatoes some good fertilizer. And just keep growing. If you found today's video helpful, definitely give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, go ahead and hype this video too. You'll see that star with the little bolts coming out of it. Go ahead and hit that button for me, comment, and letting me know what you're growing in June or what your favorite crops are to grow in June. I will see you in the next homesteading adventure. Remember to keep growing, focus on what matters, and stay close to Jesus. Bye, you guys.